we are exploring the 5 causes of human suffering that Rishi Patanjali has listed in his Yoga Sutras. The first is Avidya, ignorance, not knowing who you are and believing your mind when it tells you who you are. That's the fundamental ignorance. To think that you are the voice in your head and to be completely identified with that voice is ignorance or avidya. Now this is from Synthesis of Yoga, Sri Aurobindo. There must be a constant insistence on one main idea, the self-surrender to the master of our being, God within us and in the world, the Supreme Self, the Universal Spirit. The buddhi dwelling always in this master idea must discourage all its own lesser insistences and preferences and teach the whole being that the ego, whether it puts forth its claim through the reason, the personal will, the heart or the desire soul in the prana, has no just claim of any kind, and all grief, revolt, impatience, trouble is a violence against the master of our being. So what Sri Aurobindo is saying is that we all have a voice in our head which we call our thoughts. We are conscious of that. And we are so conscious of that that we are not conscious of what's behind that voice. So behind that voice there is what masters call a consciousness beyond thought. And that consciousness beyond thought is the realm of God that everything is. Now, that consciousness beyond thought is really the master of our being. Like each of us is a becoming of that one essence. And that one essence remains the master of the becoming also. So he says when you're really in surrender to the master of the being, you fully know that that background intelligence, which is omniscient, it knows everything, and omnipotent, it's all powerful and all loving. So that intelligence which is all loving, all powerful, all seeing, is from behind the veil pulling the strings of all existence. We don't know that. We think we are doing it, but so beautifully the scriptures tell us that not even a leaf falls from the tree to the floor, to the ground, without that will sanctioning it. Now Sri Aurobindo gives us one way of being in surrender to this intelligence. When you're in surrender to this intelligence, whatever happens, somewhere there is a Shraddha. And Shraddha is so, Sanskrit, such a beautiful language. Shraddha is made up of 2 root words. Shrat is truth and Dha is holding on to. So holding on to this truth that you know in your deepest. So faith, Sri Aurobindo says, is not a belief. It's a knowing of your deepest self. Yeah? He says it's what the seer within you knows to be true even in the absence of external evidence. So when you hold on to this knowing inside you, this knowing of the truth, that is faith, Shraddha. So if you have this Shraddha, then whatever happens, you're patient. It brings you saburi. Shraddha and saburi, you don't say, why did this happen? It shouldn't go this way. I'd have been so much better off if it had gone that way. It brings you infinite patience to know that if it has come, it needs to come in the larger scheme of things. And everything so surrender is not about surrendering one aspect of your life. The real surrender is moment to moment. Surrender is really a state of being. When anything that comes, you're so anchored in the faith that it has come by a higher sanction, and even if it gives me pain, it's come for my highest good. You're so anchored in that there is no revolt, no rebellion, no fight. Not an easy state, but we can keep it as an ideal.